Welcome to the spooky ooky Halloween. Oh wait, I have to say it to the microphone. Welcome to the spooky ooky Halloween episode. This is me by myself. Here's a costume contest. Okay. First up is Eva as
Yeah?
Sebastian. No, we're doing our entrance. This is like a kid's play.
I felt very walking out on stage.
Okay, this is Eva. I guess, I don't know, should we do this part on YouTube? I didn't plan this very well.
It's fine, just keep going.
Hello, welcome to the Spooky Ooky Halloween episode. Eva and I are displaying our costumes to you. Here's Eva as Sebastian from Stardew Valley, my long-lost lover, who, unfortunately, I gave up for Emily and her parrot. But look, he's even holding spaghetti.
Hey.
What's your other quote?
Oh yeah, I tried to give him algae pretty early on.
It says, I hate this.
I hate this.
And then here's Christine as a last-minute Tina Belcher with the shoes. You can barely see it. And hair barrette. Okay. Now, Em wanted to do a special reveal, so I'm going to sit down. Actually, I'm going to sit on the other side. And get comfortable. All right, Em, do you want to come reveal your costume?
Yeah.
Okay. Come on in. Here comes Em. Holy... Are you Zach Baggins?
Zach Bagans. I never believed in ghosts until I came face to face with one. So I set out on a quest to capture what I once saw onto video. Is there anybody here? With no big
Yes,
camera.
it's me, Zach Baggins.
Holy crap! With a muscle suit!
In
Guys,
the flesh.
I know that a lot of you don't watch our YouTube, but can you just watch the 30 seconds of this, please, God? Please, God, you need to see what is happening in front of my eyes right now.
Also brought some of my old ghost equipment.
Holy crap.
Listen.
I knew right away what you were.
Okay, good, because I waxed my hair into a
M
mohawk for
M waxed their hair into a mohawk. Holy crap. No wonder you were in the bathroom for so
Does
long.
it feel right? It does.
Oh my God. Here, Eva, do you mind taking a photo of us?
Yeah.
Together in front of the green screen.
Also, note my acid wash jeans are the closest things I could find.
This is bananas,
They
dude.
still have the tags on them because I'm going to return them immediately after.
You make a good Zach Bagel Bites.
Really?
Yes.
I was just really afraid, like, especially the facial hair.
Does the tag on your jeans say skinny?
Does it?
That's hysterical.
I tried to be as Zach as possible.
They are. That is skinny acid wash jeans.
Also, I tried to find an extra large black shirt to go over the muscles, and so it's actually a friend's shirt.
Oh my
TMTF.
God. The
Anyway.
muscle shirt.
I did what
Okay,
I
wait,
could.
talk into the microphone because it's the audio won't get picked up.
Sorry. Hello. Can everyone hear me?
Oh my God. This is very good. I also forgot to mention I have erotic friend fiction with me. So we're
Are you going to read some? Did you write it about me?
Well, wouldn't you like to know? I wrote it about Zach Baggins, so perfect timing.
There you go.
Let me scoot. I don't know why I'm literally in the corner of this. Hold on.
That was a fun intro for everyone. Do I sound normal? I don't have my headphones on.
I didn't really... Oh, I don't either.
We did not test this.
Clearly, we didn't plan this. I didn't even know Eva was coming over today until she showed up in a fucking Sebastian costume and I just started screaming.
Eva told me like a month ago that this was going to happen. So the second we were
the
recording,
Sebastian
I was like,
costume,
come over.
she literally shows up with spaghetti over her head. It was the most epic... I didn't even know she was coming and all of a sudden Sebastian was here.
Listen, your long lost
Oh,
love.
it was
Well,
so good.
Eva's current love, I suppose.
I know Eva stole him away from
Can you
me.
get divorced in this show?
You
in
can.
this game?
You can. I'm planning on it.
Can you marry each other?
No, I think... I don't know. We haven't tried it. Eva, want to get married and see what happens?
Definitely, that
I'm-
co-op. Let's click that co-op button.
Co-op. I might divorce you. We'll see.
I forgot my laptop outside.
Oh, good.
My backpack is by the door. It's just on the other side of the door.
Poor Eva is
Thank
now
you,
here
Eva.
to be our, like...
Slash Sebastian.
Okay, let me put my friend fiction. I should have put my notes in my erotic friend fiction.
My muscles are so itchy.
Are they really? They look hot.
This is literally on my naked body
Oh, it looks hot
because
as
I
hell.
wanted to make sure it was underneath the shirt.
This is like tripping me out, dude.
Does it look good?
It looks unbelievable.
Thank you.
I knew exactly what you were too. I was like,
thank God.
Dear Christ.
I was like, you're gonna wonder what the hell this like machine on me is and everything.
Em was literally like, I'll have an explanation. I was like, why on earth do we need? You know what? There's your poster. Later, we should take a photo next to the Demon House signed poster.
Yeah, I'll like pretend to sign it for you.
Oh, and I'll just be fangirling. Yeah. God, that's so good. Em.
My hair, I tried so hard to wax it into a mohawk, but Gio was like trying to get to me. It was a nightmare. So
Em, that's such a good costume.
Thank you.
How long have you planned that?
This morning.
Oh, good. Because I planned mine yesterday, so I'm glad.
On the way here, I went to Party City and I was like, do you have muscles?
That's so good. And they were like, well, you don't, so.
Exactly.
But,
so they nailed it. They were like, you need all the help you can get.
Oh my God. This is so exciting for me. I'm very happy to be sitting next to such a celebrity.
Well, ain't that the truth?
It's about time someone replace M.
Whoa, that's what they all say. Can I be on Beach Too Sandy as Zach Bagans?
Please, God.
Wait a minute. And then can I read reviews about Ghost Adventures?
Zach Bagans will happily do it. Although I think he's a good at narrating. Not really.
Yes, he is. What if I told my whole story like Zach? Everyone would stop listening immediately.
We would lose all our subscribers. Also, while I was opening my beer, I found my bottle opener.
Okay.
And it's a little unicorn, which is
that's precious.
Tina's favorite. So I'm like,
You're really on brand today.
It's hip hop happening. And Eva said I should save the costume and do it as a zombie Tina next year, which I think would be really fun.
Actually, that would work really well.
I also really want to be Linda at some point. Just like
I'll be Tina next year. You be Linda.
That would be really fucking funny.
It would, because I'd be in a skirt. That'd be the worst part of it all.
Yeah. Well, you could do Jean instead.
Oh no, I'm volunteering to be
Okay,
Tina.
all right.
That sounds
You be
like
Tina.
a wild ride for everyone.
You can have my outfit.
Thank God. And then Eva could be Eva Louise.
Louise. Well, Eva has been Louise. She just showed me pictures.
She was Louise with us again.
She was
though.
Louise Scissorhands.
That's
the
genius.
best costume ever. I know. That
God
would have
damn
won.
it.
I would have.
We should give Eva a job. Do you want a job? You're hired.
She's actually like, no, thank you.
She's like, I'm fucking busy, actually.
I have enough of a goddamn job. Maybe if you double my salary.
Oh, same.
Happily. Okay. Can you pass me my beer?
Yeah.
Thank you, muscles. Oh man, that is just sexy. When I was when I was, I shouldn't say that after I say the word sexy. When I was little, Selena and I would always say sexa.
Sexa.
Like, no, SEXAH. Like, we would say
Sexa.
John Travolta is sexa. I don't know why. I don't know why we did that. I regret saying anything.
Oh, good.
Can you also pass me my laptop?
Gotta be. I want you to know, like, this is not tied off the way it should be in me.
Eva, could you pass me the laptop? I'm sorry.
Every time I have to move, I can feel my whole arm kind of fall off of my arm. You know what I mean?
Oh, I've been there, done that.
Okay.
Thank you, Eva.
Hold
on, I'm gonna creak this stupid chair. God damn it, this is really... Okay, there we go. Now I feel like I'm ready to party.
feel like the A-team.
Happy Halloween.
Also,
Eva's stripping. Talk about scary. God, I'm mean today. I'm sorry.
You're really channeling Tina. Speaking of scary, it is officially Scorpio season, so everyone
Lord.
beware.
I'm just kidding. Everyone's so upset about that. I never said anything about Scorpios.
It's such a Scorpio thing to be upset about me saying something about Scorpios.
Sometimes people actually write us rarely.
Some people think that I actually fucking hate Scorpios, like all Scorpios.
People write sometimes like really mean emails being like, it's hurtful, you bullies, you like, and I'm like, what? Why are you taking this? And then they go, and I bet you're just gonna say, this is such a Scorpio thing to do. And I'm just like,
Scorpio.
Yes, correct. That is exactly what I was gonna say.
Guarantee no Capricorn is writing us an email like that about Scorpios.
Probably not.
Sounds like a bunch of Scorpios having a problem.
Okay, well now we've just really started off strong. This is
be as mad as you want at me. It's too far at this point for me to say I don't.
Zach
feel that
Baggins talking, not M.
Zach Baggins hates everyone, including ghosts. So you're lucky you got me. Okay.
All right.
Do you have anything to say about Halloween?
Just happy Halloween. Oh, I do have a special patron of the month since we forgot that we were doing that.
Oh.
Remember?
Yep, I do. Is it me? Is it Zach?
Yeah, how much money do you pay us a month? I don't think any.
$0.
Someone's calling you.
I'm not going to answer it. I just feel like Zach wouldn't, so.
You're really method acting.
Yeah. Doing what I can.
Tina would want to know who it is. Okay, let's see.
It's Jimmy Jr.
I tried to make Blaze do that, and he's like, "You gave me 1 day of warning." And I
He
was
literally
like,
looks like Jimmy Jr. a
I
little
know.
bit.
I was kind of like, "You already did it." Okay. Our first Patreon fan shout out, which happens to be our Halloween episode, is our patron Ravioli Senpai,
Oh.
aka Kayla.
Hi, Kayla.
Thank you for donating, and they've been a donor for a while, so I really appreciate it.
Thank you for everything you've done. And sorry that this is what you get to see on your special day.
On your special day. I hope, A, that you're not a Scorpio. That would be kind of a
That'd be really awkward.
sucky episode to be in. And B, I hope that you still listen to the show and you didn't just forget your password to Patreon and don't know how to delete your... Because that happens.
That is a real fear.
That does happen. That happened to Allie, Alexander's girlfriend. I was like, that's so sweet that you still donate. And she's like, Christina, I've been trying to get into that account for like months. I was like, oh, okay.
Well, she's like, I'm already dating your brother. I'm
like,
doing my part.
I'm literally committing enough of myself to you people. Anyway, so there's that. That's all I had to say. So thank you for your donation, Ravioli Senpai.
Yeah.
And if you guys want to be up for a Patreon shout out, we do one a month, apparently, if we remember. And you can sign up at patreon.com/ATWWD podcast.
Yes.
Cool.
All of that.
Cool.
You really kept that avocado, huh?
Well, yeah.
I thought you got rid of it.
It's, yeah.
Where's Lemon?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Okay.
I move Lemon around, kind of like
He dances.
a prized painting. I don't keep him in one place at the same time.
Like, you always have to keep him away from where everyone expects him to be, so he'll never get stolen.
Do you like that I just said like a prized painting as if I know anything about what people do with
I was just going to take your word for it. I had no idea that's what people with prize paintings did.
I'm sure it's not. I was like, you move them around for
I was
vault
like, I'm pretty
to
sure the
vault.
Mona Lisa's never been
No,
moved
they
in
don't
a
move.
while.
I think they don't move it because like they don't want to break
Because it's a prized
it.
painting?
Yes. I'm such an idiot. Anyway, so much like a prized painting.
We should just make that the thing that we compare everything to.
Oh my god. Anyway, so that's that. Okay, sorry. That's my only announcement. Let's do something spooky.
Okay. I'm yawning.
Yeah, I can tell you're already
Sorry.
thrilled with this episode.
I am covering show notes that I did for our live show in San Antonio
Okay.
as our Halloween surprise, because I wanted to make sure I gave you guys something with ghosties.
Tejas.
And I want everyone to know that the last time I read these, I was a little bitter because it was also, I think, the opening night of Avengers Endgame.
Right.
So you can already sense my weird balance between I was stoked to be at the live show, but also so mad that I was missing the very first movie, the time slot for it to come out.
I'm starting to choke up. I will say, we were just talking about this, how in the VIP line people kept being like, "Hey Em, are you really upset you're not the movie?" And I was like, yes, thank you for bringing it up for the 40th time.
Damn. Also, a lot of people kept saying "Oh, did you know that Endgame is playing right now?" And I was like, why on earth do you think that I don't know that information?
Yeah.
Yes, I know. Trust me.
We had plans and it was to be there.
Anyway,
Oops.
say lovey. So,
Eva, tell me if I'm flashing. I'm not used to wearing skirts.
it could be like one of those.
Oh no, you're fine. I mean, if I'm flashing you, I'm flashing the camera, so maybe
Wouldn't be the first time.
Be on the it would not be the first time. Sebastian, be on the lookout.
I'll just flash you and I hate this.
Eva said she's just gonna flash "I hate this." She has like a little printout of that, which is Sebastian's favorite phrase.
He really says "I hate this" a lot.
No, look, yeah, if you give him a gift, so she gave him algae, which that's your own problem, Eva. I don't know why you'd gift someone algae. But she gave him algae and he just said, "I hate this." Look at this. I hate this.
What an asshole! And you have to be married to him.
No, you don't have to be married to him. You pick. And so Eva and I both were drawn to the purple-haired emo kid, obviously. And I just went for Emily instead because she had a parrot. Again, it was the parrot.
Parrot really just swindled
Look,
you.
She's giving him
lulled
algae.
you into marriage. Actually, you do look weirdly good with purple hair, Eva.
You look great.
I don't know what's going on with you guys. Both of your wigs are kind of top notch. All right. Well,
You don't even need a wig. You really got the hair set.
I
though.
tried very hard.
No, it's on point for sure.
My wig is on my face and it's made of eyebrow pencil.
I was wondering where that came from.
I also tried to get the color that would match your eyebrows maybe so you can have the rest of the pencil.
Oh,
So-
score!
Happy Halloween.
I
Trick
put-
or treat.
I
Who
had
knows?
very dark eyebrow pencil that I used today because I was like, well, black hair.
There you go.
Just aggressively make my eyebrows.
Anyway,
Anyway, nobody cares what my eyebrows look like. Go ahead.
So this is the San Antonio story. I'm much happier to talk about it today because Avengers is out.
Okay.
And this is the story of the Alamo.
Holy shit! I don't even remember. I remember.
I don't either, which
I remember
is how
how
this is gonna,
excited everyone was.
this is going to be very interesting because I also don't remember the Alamo.
I don't remember the Alamo. You're such an idiot. I also don't remember the Alamo. I absolutely forgot the Alamo. I'm sorry.
We're gonna all take a history course together as we do every fucking week, so surprise to nothing new. But I don't remember these notes. I have not looked at them since at least April 26th, which was when Avengers Endgame came out, if I'm not mistaken.
And when we graced
San Antonio with
San
our presence.
Antonio, yeah.
So I really have not looked at them since then, and it's literally Halloween. So
Oh God.
let's go.
Let's see what happens.
I'm just gonna read the bullets, and we will translate as needed.
Okay.
Okay, Alamo, first bullet. You ready?
Sure.
The land was originally native land. Color me shocked. Then became a mission church around the 1730s. And then I think at this point I made everyone ooh and ah because that's not interesting yet.
That's usually what M does at the beginning, which I love. I think it's
I'm
funny.
encouraging everyone to remember our anxiety problems and we're on stage, so please be nice.
Yes. Start getting interested now.
Yeah. If you already paid for your ticket, so let's just ride this ride out.
We're all stuck here together.
So the land was originally native land, then became a mission church around the 1730s, and it was built by the Franciscan monks, and the goal was to minister to natives for 70 years. Okay. I don't know.
I don't know what you're waiting for here.
Okay. I was trying to read it in my head and be like, did that sentence make
I
sense?
think it makes sense.
It was named Mission San Antonio de Valero after St. Anthony. Okay. That's fun. The land was then... Oh, this is not fun. The land was then a 1,000-body cemetery in the 1700s.
Dear. Okay. Already in the 1700s. Okay.
Yep, here we go. In 1793, it became Texas's first hospital, and then the land became a military post, and then it became barracks in 1803. And then I have something called nickname history. Let's all gather around together and read these. The Alamo, the name, comes from either the monks from when they gathered under cottonwood trees while building their church. I guess Alamo meant cottonwood trees.
Sure. Makes sense.
Really should have had those notes written down.
Maybe.
Okay, or I could have just kept reading. Alamo could come from the soldiers who lived there after their hometown Alamo de Pariscahuila.
That sounds right.
Probably no, it doesn't.
No, not even a little bit.
In 1835, the Texans gained control of San Antonio and made Alamo their home base. And a year later, at the Battle of the Alamo, General Santa Anna and the Mexican army came to take over the Alamo and did it in 13 days.
Okay.
All right. So the Texans fought with, I don't know if they, actually I just wrote 13 days. I don't know if it happened in 13 days or this battle was 13 days long. I am not a history major. The Texans fought with Colonel James Bowie, Colonel William Travis, and over 100 more men, plus Davy Crockett and his 20 volunteers. And after the Battle of the Alamo, General Santa Anna and the Mexican army won.
Okay. I'm following.
So far, we're following as well as we can. Everyone that lives remotely near Texas is screaming at us, and I understand.
Well, it was very brave of you to do that at the live show, because I do remember people started arguing in their seats about what was true, and I just heard someone go, I work there, I know. And I was like, okay, you guys need to calm the hell down.
Then go complain about it there. I'm trying to read my notes and I can't fix things.
I was like, did you or did you not hear what I said about anxiety? You guys are really ruining.
I was like, I can at least assure you that I tried my best.
As Em always says, our shtick is that we don't know what we're doing. So let us have that.
Yeah. Clearly that was someone who may or may not have gotten dragged there and didn't know that the shtick is that I'm just stupid but charming, and that's what gets me
To be fair,
off.
I'm pretty sure that was the person defending you, and someone else was like, no. So
who knows?
Listen,
who knows what the story was?
No hate, but
I don't even remember what the story is.
Just don't get mad, please.
I'm trying.
No, not you. Them.
No. I'm saying FYI.
Trying. Yes, we are trying our best.
So after the Battle of the Alamo, General Santa Anna and the Mexican army won. They killed every single Texan defender. So there was 180 out of 180 dead versus 1,600 of 5,000 soldiers dead.
Okay.
It's suggested that 6 people, including Davy Crockett, did not die on the battlefield, but they did die later when they were captured and brought to General Santa Anna and then tortured and then killed.
Oh.
Around 15 people on the battlefield didn't die. So out of everyone, about 15 people.
What?
Women, children, and slaves were all told to inform others not to mess with the Mexican army. And with all of the bodies on the battlefield, General Santa Anna refused to give Texans any proper burials.
Oh, jeez. That's fucked up.
He had his men loot, dismember, and stack all of these soldiers into piles and burn them, and then their remains were buried in unmarked graves. So a lot of people did not get proper burials.
I mean, you're literally asking for a haunting at that point.
Yeah.
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 Sorry, Zach always gets the last word. I'll let you have it.
Then he had his men take their own dead soldiers and throw them into the San Antonio River. And this was because the local cemetery was already filled, and ideally bodies would not float toward Mexico. That's what his thinking was.
Wait, so he threw his own men's bodies in the river.
Ideally, the bodies would, through the current, would float to Mexico, so they wouldn't stay in Texas. Like his own.
Wow, so he's like sending them back to Mexico.
Yeah, so they got their version of, even though it was a local proper burial, they got one where they were at least on their way to Mexico.
Jeez. Well, yeah.
So
An attempt, anyway.
3 weeks later, General Sam Houston, where I remember everyone lost their damn
people
minds.
went crazy for that.
Apparently
We weren't even in Houston.
Nope. Apparently, Sam Houston is there's a high school there or something.
There's like a high school and like a statue and like a...
People freaked out when I said Sam Houston.
Yeah.
3 weeks later, General Sam Houston defeated General Santa Anna in the Battle of San Jacinto, and Texas gained independence. And then everyone cheered.
That's why. Okay, that makes sense why you guys were all so excited. Okay,
That makes sense why you guys like him.
Yeah.
Pissed off, General Santa Anna wanted Alamo burned down in case the Texans saw it as a shrine to those who rebelled. I'm Zach today, so anything I say, we're gonna blame on him.
That's pretty Zach of you. I'm gonna grab my erotic friend fiction and write that down.
Rebelled.
You just actually said rebelled.
I did say rebelled. I'm not proud of what happened.
Yeah, I loved it.
And Eva is anti-stripping now.
Eva's dressing back up. She's like, I'm out.
She's like, I heard rebelled, and I am ready to go home.
Look at my
now.
purple hair.
So pissed off that this happened, General Santana wanted the Alamo burned down, because he didn't want anyone seeing it as like a display of like, look how great Texas is.
Sure.
So Santa Anna put General Andrade in charge to make sure that the whole area, was on fire. And General Andrade oversaw this, but he had Colonel Sanchez take his troops in to complete the job. So even though this was his job, he made Colonel Sanchez and his men do it.
I keep thinking you're going to say Colonel Sanders.
I could go for some KFC right now. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I wouldn't eat fried chicken. Colonel Sanders.
He's also a hero.
Finger looking good.
Lucy. Okay, I'm not going to sing.
When Colonel Sanchez came back, he told Andrade that they did not actually set the whole place on fire. He said that they got to the barracks and they saw, quote, 6 Diablos standing on the roof of the Alamo.
Ooh.
Each of these Diablos had a flaming sword. They blocked the entrance and they screamed, "Do not touch the Alamo. Do not touch these walls."
Oh, shit. Okay.
So I think that was Colonel Sanchez's way of being like, we shouldn't be here.
Yeah, maybe let's not set it on fire.
And then told General Andrade we could not do it.
Okay.
So nowadays the legend is that they were spirits of soldiers or even the monks who built the church defending the Alamo.
Okay.
And General Andrade scoffed and he said that he would just go do it himself. So he went to the Alamo, and when he got to the barracks, he stood up, or he didn't stand up, he was already standing. He looked up with his eyes.
With his eyes, okay.
Just in case anyone forgot. He got to the barracks and he looked up and he saw a tall male spirit standing on the roof.
Oh.
And each hand held a ball of fire.
Jeez, them and their fire, man.
It's like double confirmation that there's something on the roof of this Alamo.
Yeah.
General Andrade and his men ran off, and General Santa Anna never again tried to reclaim the Alamo.
Okay, he learned his lesson.
Over time, the area started falling apart. It was repaired in the 1840s, which that sounds like when something should have been built for the first time. And then we rebuild it now. In the 1870s, most of it was torn down except the barracks and the church. Oh, I think this was where people were starting to get mad because
debate about what's still.
They're like certain things are still standing, and I didn't mention that.
Do you want me to play the part of the debater?
You're
wrong.
Oh, whoever, you might have been right. I still never found out that information. So
Idiot.
I might have been an idiot. Who knows?
You're not an idiot.
I said rebelled.
Don't listen. Just take the compliment and run.
Thank you. Oh yeah, recently Christine called me rugged, handsome, and cute,
I knew
all in one sentence.
I knew this was going to come up.
And I was like, I'm going to screenshot that because it's never going to happen again.
And then I said it again the next day, and I was like,
Blown
you have
away.
to say it 3 more times. And I was like, God damn it. I really walked myself into this one.
It's weird to hear.
I have absolutely called you handsome before. Maybe not rugged and handsome and cute all at once.
Something you really should just start screaming from mountaintops, by the way.
All right.
You could write about it in your erotic friend fiction.
I already did.
Your cute, rugged, handsome friend
Mm-hmm.
who looks like Zach today.
He looks like ZB.
Who is just built like just blasting my pecs every day. No?
I just pictured like at one of the ghost hunts, Zach just like dropping and doing 20. Like they're like cut and he just drops and does 20 and is like, anyone see that? It's like, no, we don't need more outtakes of you working out.
And so in the 1840s it was repaired. In the 1870s, most of it was torn down except the barracks and the church. And in the 1880s, it was made into a general store. And 14 years later, it became a short-lived police headquarters and jail. So it's been a lot of things.
Yeah.
Before it's even been 1900.
Okay.
In 1905, the Daughters of the Republic of Texas began managing the Alamo. A museum was built in 1937. And now the gift shop funds, I guess, the rest of the property. Like whatever you...
Oh, I see. Like
it's
the
donations
revenue goes toward
Yes.
upkeep.
Upkeep.
Jesus Christ.
Are we okay?
No, this wig is like constricting blood flow to my brain. Eva says yes, hers is too. It's very hot. It is.
In 1900... Oh, yeah. By the way, I thought we were done with this fucking
I
heat
know.
wave, and now it's 96 degrees outside.
It's in the mid 90s.
And we're not in air conditioning, and I'm in muscles.
And it's and it's end of October.
This is why I'm afraid to get real muscles. Like, that's just more sweat. That's just more body to have to sweat.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I
sure.
stay as I do.
That seems physically like how that works.
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
So in 1991, the Daughters of the Republic of Texas agreed to let a local psychic have a look around. I seem to have not put any more information than that.
Okay, great.
Just so everyone knows,
Wow.
there's been a psychic there. Because the next chunk I have starts with ghosts. So
Oh, fantastic.
let's just talk about the
Let's
ghosts.
do that.
And there's a whole lot of these ghosts, so I'm very excited about this
Okay.
part. In the 1890s, we're starting early, San Antonio Express News wrote about activity happening at the Alamo. So in the newspaper, there's a quote that said, "The Alamo is again the center of interest to quite a number of curious people who have been attracted by the rumors of manifestations of alleged ghosts. The sound of feet on the roof that has been heard as late as 5 a.m. by the officer in charge."
Ooh.
Which is interesting because the very first things that were supernatural to have happened there were people walking around on the roof.
Right.
So,
Ew, so it's still happening. Okay.
yes. Officers and prisoners complained about moaning, whispers, chain rattling, all those that they all kept them awake at night, which I guess is good if you're an officer. You should be awake on your shift. But I guess the prisoners had something to complain about. The guards wouldn't patrol the property after dark, and the city was forced to relocate the jail. So that's why it was only a short-lived
Wow.
jail, because just because there were so many
No
ghosts,
one
apparently.
Wanted to work there.
Right.
That's shitty.
Another newspaper said that allegedly there's a buried treasure somewhere on the property.
Ooh.
That sounds fun. I like to think someone from our show then went there after our show and found the buried treasure.
I like to think that you suggested we all go there to look for it. I'm
That
pretty
sounds like something I would
sure
do.
that's what happened.
I can neither confirm nor deny, but I can definitely bet that happened.
And did we go? No, we went to sleep immediately.
I almost took an Uber to a late night Endgame showing.
That's true.
There was a girl who visited the Alamo. Oh, speaking of the buried treasure, I think. A girl visited the Alamo, and she said she could talk to the dead, and she saw, quote, spirits in the chapel. She said that the activity is because they're trying to find the treasure, which is $540,000 worth of gold,
Well,
which
hello.
is $16 million now.
Holy crap. I would have found that too.
So apparently, that's when I said, like, we can all go and we'll just divvy it up.
And I said, yeah, let's go. And then I said, but we're going to go. I don't know. I said,
We said something.
we said something. It was hilarious.
We've
by
said
the way.
many things.
If you were there, you would have known how hysterical it was.
Tell your friends we made you cry from laughter.
So we made you cry for a lot of reasons, but
Yes.
mostly from laughter.
So it's $60 million now, is what the treasure is worth, and it's apparently near the southwest corner. An apparition has been seen walking frantically across the roof of the Alamo,
Ugh.
too, which is, again, confirming that something's walking on the roof.
It reminds me of that thing of like ghosts being in like unnatural, like either on the floor or like,
or like crouching.
in the walls, like on the crouching.
Wasn't
on
there one, I swear, there was at least one listener story, or in one story I've covered, there was an apparition that crab walked to people.
Ugh, gross.
Absolutely not. There's no need for that.
That sounds like a.
I get you're bored in the afterlife, but learn how to knit or something. We're not crab walking
Oh my God.
in the afterlife.
Get a Switch. Even I can waste hours of our lives.
You can get married all over
You
again.
can waste hours of your afterlife on that thing.
Listen, I'm saying.
And
I'll come find you with all my heavy
your
duty
equipment.
and muscles.
You can watch Em do push-ups for days.
I'll just rip the portal between our world and yours right off.
God, but being on the roof, that's gross. I don't like that.
There have been disembodied screams and yelling. There is a sense of being watched wherever you go. People have heard whispers. They've seen vanishing lights.
Okay.
Welcome.
Sorry.
I had to do like 1,000 push-ups real quick. Sorry.
Em was working out for a minute.
I had to stop the camera and be like, Christine, I gotta get my fix. I gotta
Gotta get my
chug some protein.
fix. God damn it.
Get my pros in. All right.
Don't ever say that again. Okay, I'm sorry about that. We're back. Cool.
Cool. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties /
Galore.
physical abilities strengthened just
Ugh.
1% more.
It's getting hot in here, huh?
I know. You're cute, rugged, handsome, ghost adventures man. All here
Tina would be all over this, by the way. You know that, right? Like,
just like a frat bro.
oh, Tina would be just like, do some more push-ups. All right.
All right. By the way, cannot do a single push-up. Let's just be clear. This is a farce. I don't know what you think you walked in on, but I did not do this overnight.
Oh boy.
So people have heard disembodied screams and yelling. They have felt that being watched, all like wherever they are on the property. People have heard whispers. They have seen vanishing lights. Apparently, there's an apparition dressed from the 1830s, which is, I feel like you have to have a very specific set of knowledge to know the 1830s
Oh my God, yeah.
garb.
I didn't even think about that. It's not like 1828. It's like 1835.
I wouldn't even know the 1930s compared to like the 1950s. I wouldn't.
Yeah, that's very specific.
Apparently, this apparition walks by the courtyard in tall boots and a plantation hat and an overcoat. All right, so now we all know what the 1830s.
That would be our next Halloween costume.
Good to know.
I don't want to wear a plantation hat, actually. Never mind.
You don't? Why?
No. Wow.
And then apparently he fades away.
Okay.
So at least he goes away.
Yeah.
With his old school clothes.
Mm.
There's a spirit of a boy that sits above the gift shop, and he stares at the yard from the windows that are inaccessible. So they know if they're seeing something up in the windows, they cannot get in there.
Spooky.
Apparently mainly in February, so that might mean that that's when he died.
Sorry.
That's okay. Psychics apparently have seen and talked with the spirits of over half a dozen soldiers. There's a transparent figure dressed in buckskin clothing and a rifle by the chapel, and they think that might actually be Davy Crockett himself.
Woo!
Very fun.
Everyone claims to have all these people like Davy Crockett and Al Capone. Like, there's some people that like seem to crop up.
I wonder if they just play like the Davy Crockett song over and over and like try to summon him.
What's the song? I don't remember.
Well, I'm remembering it from like Brer Rabbit.
Yeah,
Davy Crockett.
No, I don't know that
King
actually.
of the wild frontier. Nope.
Eva's nodding, I think. Oh, Eva
Eva's
knows
being
it.
supportive.
Eva's gonna nod no matter what we say, so or sing.
Is that what that was called? Brer Rabbit?
Yeah, I think.
Who knows? Not me.
You guys do, I'm sure. But guess what?
Guess what? You also probably know a whole lot more about the Alamo.
You probably work there, and too bad for us.
Okay, so there's also one ranger that went into the barracks and saw a man wearing buckskin, and his torso was riddled with bullets.
What?
Like bullet holes. So you could see through his stomach.
Gross. And probably bloody.
Then there's also the spirits of Mexican soldiers that have apparently stepped out from the darkness. This is like a whole apparition. It's not just one figure. It's a whole scene that's an apparition of Mexican soldiers stepping out from the darkness, surrounding a man, stabbing him with bayonets, and then they all fade away.
What the fuck? So it's like a full-on
A whole
reenactment.
scene, literally the most original reenactment.
I wonder if anyone... Right. Like from the original actors.
The actors.
Oh, woof.
So guests at nearby hotels see spirits coming out of the Alamo's walls at night if you're looking
Ooh.
out the window. They also
Ooh.
hear screams, explosions, trumpet music, sounds like a battle marching song.
Trumpet music.
You know.
I'm just picturing me playing trumpet in 7th grade, like, wah, 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 wah.
Apparently, there's also a cowboy's apparition that is seen in the gardens.
Well, that's nice, I think.
I don't know. That's all I've got.
Okay.
There's one ghost that leans out of a window. He leans back in and then vanishes. Interesting. Just checking out the scene, I guess. People have reported hearing children's laughter, the worst thing I've heard in this whole episode so far.
Heinous.
And there's apparently the ghost of a native that has been seen in the basement, who either fades away or walks through a wall. I guess dealer's choice on that one.
Woof. Either one is bad.
Either one is something I don't want to experience.
No.
I prefer just never seeing one.
No.
There are also soldiers in Mexican uniforms that walk around, and there's 2 apparitions of little boys that follow tour groups and vanish in the middle of the tour.
Oh, so they're on the tour. You think
Like,
they're on the
you
tour.
think they're like someone's kids.
Ugh.
And at some point they just never show
You're
up
like,
again.
what well-behaved children? And then they're just gone.
Right, or maybe they're really shitty children.
They could be really
And then you're like, I
shitty.
wish they would disappear. And then they do, and you're like, oh my God.
You're like, I hope that mother doesn't know what I just thought in my
It's like,
head.
I'm too powerful.
I manifested it.
So there's a story from 1990 where kids went to go see the Alamo, and as they were leaving the Alamo, it was like, I guess parents took their kids to see the Alamo.
Right.
As they were leaving the Alamo, there's apparently a girl named Megan in this story.
Sounds about right.
This is the little girl. So a little girl named Megan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Drink.
Yep. Megan looked behind her and waved, and then softly and very somberly said, "Goodbye, Jamie."
Oh. Oof.
Which is something that she had no way of knowing at the time.
Wait, what?
She had no way of knowing that there was someone.
There was someone named Jamie?
There was someone named Jamie. I'm reading. Hang on.
Okay.
This is an excerpt from the guy. I guess the dad.
Oh.
I looked around to see who she was waving to, thinking she had met a new friend on the tour, but there was no one in sight. When I asked her who she was talking to, she said, "Jamie, there he is, right there." And she pointed to a spot directly in front of the Alamo's doors. No one was there. I told her that I didn't see anyone, and he must have gone back inside. Then she said, "No, there he is," and kept pointing. I still didn't see anyone. She then decided to describe him to me. Jamie's a Mexican boy about 15 or 16 years old, wearing cotton pants, a white cotton shirt, sandals, and a tall black hat. She said that he had stood beside her the whole time that they were in the Alamo and told her about the battle. Quote, "He said that he was there. He said that he's been here an awfully long time and can't go home. He was sad, but he was glad that he found me to talk to."
Holy shit.
Yowza.
So Megan saw Jamie. Okay, got it. How sad is that, though, that, like, Jamie, the little boy, has to wait for someone who can see him? Like, clearly
know.
he's been waiting for someone to talk to, and, like, finally this little girl can see him, but most people probably can't.
And then, like, the first time you can talk to someone, it's, like, a child who's going to leave in 2 hours.
Oh, so Jamie was not a child.
Jamie was, he said, was described as, like, 15 or 16.
Oh,
But, like, I think Megan was a little kid.
Got it. Okay. I thought for some reason it was another kid. Oh my God. Yeah. How terrible. Yeah. Nobody can see you until a little girl, and then no one believes a little kid.
Right.
Oh, sad.
Men have been seen in the fort walking around, including Abe Lincoln and Ulysses S. Grant.
What?
Excuse me.
That's the other one. Abe Lincoln. Everyone claims Abe Lincoln. Mm-hmm.
I hope I'm that kind of ghost where everyone thinks that they've got me in their spot.
I'm sure that's probably what's going to happen.
If I go first, you're for sure going to assume that I'm haunting only your house, like at least 90% of the time. And it's going to be because it's true.
I'm going to never be at a Chick-fil-A ever again. I'm going to have to avoid a lot of places that I know you'll be creeping around.
It would be mainly steakhouses, if we're being honest.
Steakhouses. Okay.
Just
got
don't go back to an Outback.
I thought you were going to say don't go back to a non-vegetarian lifestyle, because then you'll be everywhere.
Oh, that's the truth. Wait a minute. Don't ever drink milk again. My moo juice.
Stop calling it that. Em has called it that all week, and it's so fucking gross. Em was like,
It is gross. I don't think it doesn't sound gross. I just like
did you
saying
know milk is like made of pus? And I was like, why are you're drinking in front of my face right now, right this very second.
I know what it is. I'm really grossed out by it.
Yeah, you seem really grossed out by it when you drink it every day.
No comment. I hate myself for it. I also just have yet to decide to stop.
Okay.
Yeah, so Abe Lincoln and Ulysses S. Grant have been seen walking around in the fort. Apparently, they have been seen reading documents. So that's nice. They're still
that's fun.
trying to stay updated in the world. One Mexican general is seen wandering the grounds with his hands behind his back, looking down and shaking his head.
Oh.
After sunrise, apparitions of a man and a child are on the roof.
Again, with the roof.
And the man wraps his arms around the child and jumps.
Oh, no!
I didn't see that coming.
Talk about
I thought they were going to like have like a father-son bonding moment. Of
They hug and watch the sunrise.
Yeah. Nope, they're just
Oh my god,
jumping
that's
off.
horrific. Okay.
I don't know what that means. I don't know if that's
No.
like residual or like just
It's all bad.
it's all bad. Visitors, no joke, get depressed and cry.
Oh.
Okay, that makes sense. When in the chapel specifically.
Oh.
That's why I wrote it down.
Okay.
And they end up feeling better when they leave. I guess they don't realize why they are crying in the chapel, and then they leave feeling better. There's an apparition of monks seen in the courtyard, walking into walls where doorways used to be, which is interesting because it goes by that blueprint theory of ghosts
yes.
walk through the architecture that they knew.
That's like residually, right? Like they're like that's how I saw at Whaley House, where he walked into a door and then I went up there and it was like all boarded up with plexiglass.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh yeah, he's just walking to his old room." And I was like, "Oh no, it's all boarded up."
I like that you like the alive people don't get the last say. Like you still get to go wherever you want. I think that's fun.
That is true.
Well, let me see. There's an apparition of someone dressed in a black cloak, soaking wet, who looks alive.
What?
And
like doesn't look like
he
a
looks
ghost.
solid. He's not.
Blech.
And if you ask him a question, he melts into the air.
What? That's a new one.
I've never heard of air melting. There are reports of a woman crying, footsteps, heavy pounding on the door in the gift shop. Also, furniture shakes by itself, windows and doors will open and close, and lights will go on and off. In March, people will hear horses galloping and neighing outside when there's no horses around.
Ugh.
And there's an apparition of a woman only from the torso up, next to the well by the church, and she's only seen at night and then fades away.
You know how I feel about torsos.
I know, that's why I probably brought it up.
No, thanks.
Especially the bullet hole one, that's awful. Birth control?
Sorry. Oh, sorry.
Christine, can I have a Kool-Aid jammer?
You can have a Kool-Aid jam. You can have as many Kool-Aid jammers as you like.
Cool. That's my jam.
Good one.
It's a double one.
Pretty clever. I'm sorry, I made that very...
No, heavy. All my fault.
Some caramel apple pops.
My jam juice. My aid.
Someone just posted on or commented on my Instagram. I just found out you're a Gemini. I'm not surprised. It's like,
That sounds like a fucking Scorpio. Wait a minute.
mean? I was like, ouch, I think. Okay, sorry. I'm going to have to take my birth control later, so
Uh-oh.
just a warning now. All right, go ahead, Em.
Classic Tina, am I right? There's an apparition of a tall Native American who silently, creeps up behind you and then runs through the wall when it's caught. Like once you've noticed that something's crawling up behind you, it'll run through the wall.
Okay, no thank you for that.
There are spirits
goodbye.
of soldiers still standing guard, sometimes marching by the church. And outside of town, there have been reports of a man dressed in the early 19th century clothing walking on the highway. He holds a rifle, and when he's asked where he's going, he will always say, "To the Alamo, where I belong."
What?
So a lot of people apparently think that this guy is Lewis Rose, who apparently decided that he wasn't going to go fight in the Alamo, and so he was considered a coward. And then when he died, I guess now his ghost is trying to get to the Alamo, so he won't be considered a coward.
Trying to reclaim like his dignity in the afterlife.
Yeah.
Yuck! And he's stuck on this highway. It's like that Dr. Seuss book or movie or whatever where they build all the highways around those two things that won't pass each other.
Oh,
You remember
yeah.
that? And they're like, for the rest of the time, they're stuck there, and they just build highways around them. And I don't know why I'm writing
Dr.
this.
Seuss was a zany guy, but
Do you
also
know
had
that
a lot
story?
of messages to him.
Vaguely. That wasn't the Lorax?
No, it wasn't the Lorax, but that's similar concept. Yeah. No, it was these two people or these two creatures, and they like refused to turn One was going north, one was going south, and eventually they met, and neither one of them would budge, and neither one of them would compromise. And so they stood there, and the whole world like built around them, and for the rest of time they just stood there like not moving.
I feel
It's
like
very sad.
Dr. Seuss and Shel Silverstein really fucked me up as like a 6-year-old.
Yeah, they'll
I was
get
like,
ya.
I was like, oh my god.
I remember reading The Giving Tree to my sister when she was 4, and she just like burst into tears. My mom was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "It's a really nice story." And like I was crying, and she's like, "Why would you do this? She's 4." And I was like, "I don't know."
And now I read it, and I'm like, that was not a nice story.
I know,
I was like, I did not understand the lesson for a
Listen,
long time.
my dad read me fucking Kafka when I was 6, so like I didn't know
Well,
any better.
Says the German. That sounds right.
Like cut off your thumbs.
Right. Oh yeah. Okay. And Struel Peter. I never know how to say
That'll
it.
be our costume. Eva has the scissors.
Wait a minute. Let's all.
Peter.
Wait a minute.
Wait, we should all be German like fables. Wouldn't that
Wait
be
a minute.
funny?
I call Krampus.
That's a good one, yeah. Every time I tap your arm and it's like this weird squishy beanbag, it freaks me out.
Oh, you mean my?
I mean, really rock
rippled,
hard.
rippled, shredded to death muscles.
Rippled. Blah.
It's like hitting stainless steel. Some might say.
Some might.
Some might.
Some might.
Including myself and you. I hope.
I'm gonna drink wine out of this pumpkin cup.
Okay. The stores in Alamo Plaza, and the River Center Marriott, the playground, and the nearby bookstore, all of these are near the Alamo, and they're all apparently haunted because they're all technically on the property.
Okay.
There are ice cold rooms. Books will fly off the shelves. There's reports of a translucent woman walking through the plaza. In the 1700s, there were 2 women who walked across the grounds and were literally struck by lightning.
What?
2 different women.
At the same time?
I cannot be sure of that.
Wow.
But enough people.
2 is enough.
Enough lightning strikes that I don't like it.
I would say.
John Wayne's ghost is said to haunt the Alamo.
Okay, they're just taking everybody now.
He also directed and starred in the Alamo, which is
Okay, well that makes a little more sense.
it makes it fun. While filming, he apparently became obsessed with the history of it, and he has been seen with the soldiers and spoken with psychics.
I was about to say, I wonder what the other ghosts who have been there like since the Alamo, they're like really like
It's like this fucking actor.
John Wayne shows up and's like, "Oh, I'm part of the Alamo," and they're like, "You are from
They're like, get
Hollywood."
out of here, John Wayne. What are you talking about?
Yeah, for real.
There are no investigations that have been held here, actually. It is
Really?
forbidden. There's a quote that I'll leave everyone on. The Alamo is a shrine. It is a registered historical site and literally a cemetery for hundreds of people, both Mexican and Texan, and no investigations are allowed on the site. It is, in fact, a violation of the law to take photographs inside the Alamo Church or the Long Barracks, which are the only 2 original structures still standing. No cameras or other electronic apparatus, including EMF detectors, are allowed to be used within the confines of the Alamo. They can be used outside on the grounds.
Wow.
So I think I put that in since it was a live show to let everyone know, like, hey, after I've told you this, don't go looking for ghosts.
After I told you we're all gonna meet there afterwards,
we're gonna look for
find
buried
a
treasure, but we're not gonna bring EMF detectors.
we're not gonna take photos at all.
So that being said, that is the story of the Alamo.
Oof, that's a classic. That's such a good one for Halloween. I feel like.
Before you tell your story, I forgot something downstairs, but can I go get it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Feel free.
Keep filming.
Okay.
I actually genuinely forgot. This isn't like a thing.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
No rush.
Actually, also I got yelled at in the Alamo for taking pictures 'cause I didn't know.
Eva got yelled at for taking pictures in the Alamo. Holy shit.
Yeah, I was just
She's rebelling all over the place.
I was
Rebelling everywhere.
Rebelling. Such rebels.
all the rebels.
That's
It was only
crazy.
up the ceiling too. It was like the stupidest.
Of the ceiling?
Because it's really pretty, like the.
Oh. And there's probably ghosts on the roof, so
Yeah.
makes sense.
Hi.
Here comes Em. What's that?
I brought you gifts.
You brought me gifts
Yes.
for our friend anniversary?
No, but
Oh.
nice of you to fucking remember one. So
Hey, of course I remembered.
Ugh. We gotta do something for our anniversary.
What is that?
Okay, I got you both
It's in a
presents.
trash bag?
Okay.
I'm just
Do you
kidding.
want the gift or not?
I want the gift.
Okay. All right. Let me bring this back. Bring it on back to you. Okay.
Don't put S Club in my head.
Whew, going up those stairs with these muscles is tough, guys.
Yeah. You must be
my
blasting those quads.
My hammies are hurting.
Okay.
All right, so I got both of you Halloween presents because 'tis the season.
Yes.
So you each get things.
Okay.
Okay. So you both all get the same things, kind of. So one is, this is for Eva, because she's the brains behind the operation.
Light up realistic brain.
Oxymoron with the light up and realistic.
Light up realistic. Oh, wait, hold on. It says try me. Oh.
And then you have the realistic light up heart because you have my heart.
Oh, it's a little creepy realistic. Light up also. Oh, that's kind of cute. Thank you, Em. It has like aortas and shit.
Yes, it does. This is, both of you get one of these too. It's the same but different, just like that thing. It's color changing hot chocolate.
What?
So Eva gets zombie green.
Hell yeah. Oh my god, the lime green and the purple right now is a good combo.
Good contrast.
Ghoulish green. Oh, sorry, Eva, that's
And
really
then
heavy.
and then Christine gets vampire blood red.
Aww.
There you go.
I love this. Blood red hot chocolate. Ooh.
And then I forgot about this, but I actually used to have this well, it's a whole book, but I used to have the whole book as a poster, and when I was in college, and I forgot that it existed, and apparently now they have like little tiny book versions of it. So I got both of you one because it was like something I really liked, and I thought it was kind of creepy and weird when I was younger. But it's the Gashly Crumb Tinies by Edward Gorey.
I love Edward Gorey, but I don't know this.
You both got the same thing. But it's the alphabet, but poem version, and all the letters stand for names of children who all die in really fucked up ways.
Oh god. A is for Amy who fell down the stairs. B is for Basil assaulted by bears. What in the world?
I don't know.
C is for Clara who wasted away. Oh my god. Let's see.
It's really fucked up, but also like very like foreshadowing of my career one day.
D is for Desmond thrown out of a sleigh. F is,
Do
E
E.
is for Ernest who choked on a peach. F is for Fanny sucked dry by a leech. Fanny! No, not Fanny.
College me was obsessed with the Gashly Crumb Tinies, and so
What does Fanny stand for?
but
Sucked dry by a leech. God, that's a rough way to go. Oh my god.
I thought that was like a random nice. I don't know. I liked them a lot a couple years ago,
These are
but
wild. I've never seen this
I can't think of
before.
another time I'll ever give either of you a book. So
Yeah, I also can't think of another time, but I love this. K is for Kate, who was struck with an axe. L is for Leo, who swallowed some tacks. M is for Maud, who was swept out to sea. N is for Neville, who died of ennui. Oh my god, oh my god, some of these are really fucked up.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, but also I'm not.
One of them was like, who was done in by a thug. I'm like, whoa.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Wrong place, wrong time.
Oh my god. S is for Susan, who perished of fits. That's gonna be me someday. Oh my god. T is for Titus, who flew into bits, and it's him opening a package, which I assume explodes, which is a little bit woof.
That I didn't remember. I didn't even read them. I just saw it, and I just grabbed two of them. So
Victor got squished by a train. Winnie got frozen in ice. Xerxes devoured by mice. Yorick, whose head was knocked in. And Zilla, who drank too much gin.
Wait, that one's Allison. Hang on a second.
That one's me. Oh my god. I love that.
Anyway, pass it on if you're sick of reading it. But
Oh no, I love it. I like how he like dedicated it to somebody. I'm like, can you imagine if someone's like, I dedicated a book to you?
I would literally dedicate a book like that to you, and you know
I
it.
know you would. It's about all these children dying. To my lovely wife, Helen. There you go. I love this. This is amazing. Can I also say that it says the price and then it says /higher in Canada. It doesn't say the price. It just says $10 /higher in Canada.
Just so we're clear, whoever of us ever have children, that will be read to them on a nightly basis.
I mean, you already know this.
You're going to have a little Wednesday Addams, and I'm already excited about it.
This is the shit my parents read to me, and I didn't turn into anything as cool as Wednesday Addams. So I wouldn't get your hopes up, but maybe we can try.
Fingers crossed.
We can
Poor
try.
Blaze, by the way.
Poor Blaze. We've said that from day one, and he knows what
He's
going to
make them read medical journals. We're more fun.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to be like, look, this person's eye fell out. It's going to be like, same thing.
And then they'll be like, that's what happened to Xerxes.
Yeah!
Don't even worry.
She drank way too much gin and her eyes fell out. I'm going to be a great parent. Thank you, Em. I love them.
You're welcome.
That was
Happy
so
Halloween.
Nice. I'm going to drink this blood red. It's in a little coffin. It's so cute. Blood red hot chocolate. All right.
I have one that came in a cauldron, and it turns orange like a pumpkin.
Cute.
Yeah.
I saw your Instagram where you were drinking purple hot chocolate.
Oh, that was a mistake.
It looked questionable at best. I will say that.
That was actually the Addams Family hot chocolate that they're selling currently at IHOP.
I looked like IHOP. I thought that looks like a very IHOP thing to do.
It was also a really awful IHOP where, like, I don't know why we chose to eat there after just taking one solid pan of the room. It was like 1 a.m. and just dirty beyond repair.
Which one was it?
At the one in my neighborhood.
Oh.
And
Oh, no. Sorry. That's not the one I
it was really gross. And then I ate it. I swear to God, either the whipped cream that comes on it is in like a totally industrial aerosol can, or they
Fantastic.
literally sprayed like Kleenex on it by accident. Like it might have been on a table when it was like being prepped,
Like Windex?
where someone was like Windexing.
Oh.
Because I drank it and I was like, I literally taste bug spray. Like not just a little. Like I swallowed it and it burned and it stayed in my mouth.
Yeah, it's probably chemicals.
It was really bad. And also after like we took the whipped cream off and looked at it, the dye that was making it. I mean, you're making something brown purple, so imagine how much dye it must take.
Ugh.
The ink, I'm calling it ink instead of dye. It literally looked like an oil stain over my. I was like, I'm not drinking the rest of that.
Well, yours was empty. I'm just
Anyways,
gonna put it out there.
I'm not gonna sit here and say that the IHOP. I'm not gonna like badmouth IHOP. I'm gonna say that one experience was not the best, but I won't be getting purple hot chocolate ever again.
Well, I like how
So enjoy your red and green.
I like
hot
how
chocolate.
you got us colored hot chocolate as a gift. I'll put some Windex in it later.
Good. Just for the
Holy
experience.
shit. Do you remember when we went to IHOP
Yeah.
for secret reasons?
For secret reasons, I do.
Aw,
We didn't know Eva yet.
Maybe someday we'll reveal to you why we secretly went to IHOP. What a fun lore. We can create lore around why we secretly went to IHOP
Yep.
one day.
One day. It was
It was a magical day.
it was a magical day.
It was multiple of us.
Do you know why?
I don't think I know why.
I think
We'll
he
tell
was
you
like,
later.
what the hell are you talking about?
He was like, was I supposed to know about this?
I was too busy taking selfies.
Sebastian's taking selfies. What else is new?
So I have to flip my hair and take myself.
You should take a selfie. Yeah, with that orange cup. That's really good.
Actually, the contrast, very Halloween-y.
and
Purple
if you
and
make
orange.
green hot chocolate, like you're gonna be.
You should take a picture like that in front of the green screen so you've got the orange, the purple, and the green.
And then I can green screen myself into Stardew Valley.
Oh my god!
Wait a minute.
Wait, yes.
Eva,
Holy
we
shit!
have to take a picture of you in front of this green
Wait, we're
screen
gonna
later.
green screen Eva into Stardew Valley. Oh my god, that's such a good idea, Eva. Okay, blah blah blah.
I'm the new avatar.
Oh my god! I smashed
You're
my
the
face.
Evatar. Wait a minute.
Guys, don't you miss us? No.
Oh yeah, guy.
That was good. Okay, wow. Oof, I'm sweating. Oh, I just want to pet your biceps.
That's the first time anyone's ever said
Now
that to
Em's
me.
gonna make me say that 4 more times. Oh,
Just 10.
10? Okay. All right, so guys, I picked the creepiest story I could find, which is true crime, but also creepy as fuck. So this is the story that I did in New Orleans, and it is the story of John and Wayne Carter, the New Orleans vampires.
Okay.
Dun dun
Oh,
dun.
I kind of remember this.
So I put my sources here probably for a reason. I put olivevintage.net because there are a lot of blogs and sites about New Orleans, obviously. So I want to, and a lot of people work really hard to like find the history and do all the research. So I want to give them the credit. Olivevintage.net, Huffington Post, and exemplar.com were 3 of my biggest sources. My 4th biggest source was our tour guide, Bobby, who gave us a tour and kind of talked about it a little bit. And the reason I knew about the story was because Blaze and I did the same tour back in February. So thank you to Bobby. He probably doesn't listen to this, but hello anyway. He came to our show, though.
He did come to our show. I did not expect that.
That was really nice of him.
Also in New Orleans, I went to Willie Mays for fried chicken on principle. Truly was the best fried chicken and mac and cheese and peas that I'd ever had.
Oh, mac and cheese.
It was
sounds so good right now.
So fucking good. Also, they had this place called Creole Creamery, which I'm sure
you
is
told
like
me about that.
they had a whole. You know, they have like a display case for the ice cream that you can look into. It's like the glass case for ice cream.
Yeah.
They had a whole separate one just for the chocolate flavors.
No,
It fucked me up. It fucked me up.
That sounds. I remember you and I went to get beignets at like
4 in the morning.
4 in the morning, and you literally were just describing the ice creams, and I just sat there like with my chin on my fist, just like, tell me more.
I want it to be clear to everybody. I had literally a dozen beignets in 48 hours.
More than a dozen, right?
Probably.
Maybe.
I
not.
really, my mouth was just filled with powdered sugar the entire time we were there. But I
Our
bring
lungs are probably still in trouble from that.
up, yeah. Sometimes I just cough up white dust.
Yep.
I bring up the Willie Mays thing because I wasn't aware of the protocol where you have to stand outside and wait for someone to walk you in.
What?
So yeah, because it's a really small space.
Oh.
So there's like a bench outside.
I don't
and
want
like
people like rushing in.
it's like the line is outside.
Sure.
And so I didn't know that, and I kept like walking in and out. I definitely looked like a tourist because everyone was like, "Stay fucking outside."
Chill the fuck out.
I was like,
much,
"Where?"
much like a valuable painting, Em just moved
Right, I
in
just
and out of
move
all these
around.
different places.
And then there was another couple. There was two women who were behind me,
That's right.
and oh yeah, okay.
I love
for a
them.
second, I was like, I think I forgot their names, but I'm
No,
I'm
no,
good.
you remember.
There were these two women. They were probably in their 60s,
I love them.
and they were clearly tourists too because they kept walking around being like, where do we go, what do we do? And I was like, I have no idea. And we made so much small talk that eventually when we both got like our tables, they were like, do you want to sit with us? And I was like, okay. So I ended up hanging out. Their names were Miss Elaine and Miss Johneth. And
Joneth, that's right.
they were some of the funniest
Oh, I love them so
women
much.
I've ever talked to. And we ate so much fried chicken,
Oh,
and we just became like best buddies. And
That's right.
by the end, they were like, "So why are you in town? Like, are you like with friends or something?" And I was like, "Oh boy, here
the
we
$1
go."
million question.
I was like, "Oh, I'm here for work." Like, I tried to keep it kind of tame.
That never works, by the way. We
and
say
they're,
that.
they're like, "Oh, what do you do?" And I'm like, "Oh,
salesperson
I tell stories like a hobo. Like, I just kind of travel and tell stories
with my bindle.
with my bindle." I told them I was a podcaster, and I said I had a show. And they apparently had a dinner cruise planned for that night, and they dropped it
Literally.
to come to my show. And I never saw them before, during, or after the show, but apparently they picked up their tickets and were there.
They came to the show, and Bobby came to the show.
Everyone showed up.
What a delight.
That was also the day that I carried a crocodile, and it slapped me in the face.
Yeah, there was a lot happening.
I'll post that picture right here.
I know,
We'll
everyone
put that
keeps.
picture.
Oh God, don't make me do that. Okay,
It's
fine.
too late.
But you're gonna not send it to me, and then
That's not the truth.
Oh, sure. Okay,
It
it's
is the
not the
truth.
truth. It's completely the truth. Every time I was like, "We'll put it there," and then like 2 hours before the episode goes out, I'm like, "Where are you, Em?"
It was a terrible day.
But you should post the photo too on Instagram. Like it's.
I should.
such
I
a
keep
good
saying I will.
photo.
My hair is bananas because I had just been on a swamp boat for 2 hours.
Em, you literally just gelled your hair into a faux hawk. Don't even.
That's true.
Okay.
Anyway, here's the picture of the alligator.
The gator.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, vampires.
Anyway, here's my story. So, This takes place in 1928, around the start of the Great Depression. There were two brothers by the name of John and Wayne Carter. They moved into a... John Wayne.
Oh, that's what I was going to say it, but I didn't want to say
Something
it.
sounded familiar. Yep. They moved into a home in New Orleans and began work as fishermen. They lived a pretty quiet life. They didn't draw much attention to themselves and were seemingly normal, hard workers. What do we call pillars of the community?
Aren't they all?
They were pillars of their community, I'm sure. That is one day until... Oh, I want to put my little jack-o'-lantern out. Sorry. That is until one day in 1932 when an 11-year-old girl ran into the police station covered in her own blood.
Okay.
She claimed she had just escaped John and Wayne Carter's house and showed them multiple cuts on her wrists. She told police she had been abducted, taken into their apartment, then tied down so she couldn't escape. Then every night when the brothers got home from work, they would feed on her blood from the cuts in her wrists.
Oh my God.
It's so sick. I'm sorry, it's really fucked up. The cuts weren't deep enough to cause death, but enough to cause them to bleed slowly over the course of several days so they could feed off her, basically, without killing her right away. Listen, I'm sorry, this is really fucked up. To their horror, she told them she wasn't alone and that the Carter brothers had more victims back at their house. Police rushed to the Carter brothers' apartment, which was on the third floor of a building on the 800 block of Royal Street near the French Quarter. And we passed that on our tour. They ran into the apartment. They discovered that the girl was telling the truth. 4 more people were trapped in the apartment. All were gagged, bound, and cut at the wrists.
Oh my God.
The victims included an adult male, an adult female, a 14-year-old boy, and a 9-year-old girl who had already passed away. Yeah. When they searched the apartment, police found an additional 14 dead bodies hidden in one of the brothers' bedrooms.
Oh, shit.
So, basically what the police do, they decide to wait in the dark apartment until the brothers get home from work. And then they say, when they get home, we're going to jump out, like ambush them and arrest them, basically.
Right.
Because we don't want to spook them. So once night falls, the brothers come home. They are ambushed. They're apprehended. Police arrest them. According to the official police report, it took 7 to 8 large police officers over 45 minutes to restrain the two men, which, like, alone is shocking, but also when you think that they were average height and build and they were not especially strong like Em is right now. I mean, Zach.
Always.
And they had also spent the entire day working manual labor, like as fishermen. So, like, there was no reason why it should have taken 8.
Like, that's not just adrenaline that fights off 8
Right.
grown men.
8 grown men.
You could be, like, on something or literally a vampire.
Dun, dun, dun. So they were obviously arrested once they were restrained, and a few years later they were tried and executed by electric chair.
Okay.
Their bodies were placed in an above-ground New Orleans vault, and that's pretty well known in New Orleans that happens, but now that we're not in New Orleans, I will explain for everyone else. For anyone who doesn't know, according to experienceneworleans.com, the real reason tombs in New Orleans are above ground is contested. It's a mixture of folklore and fact. It's typically said that the water table is very high in New Orleans, and basically New Orleans is under sea level, so graves tend to flood. And since coffins are full of air, when the graves flood, the water pushes the coffins up and bodies float out of their graves and down the road. So that's the traditional reasoning behind
The
above
classic
ground.
reasoning.
Classic. However, according to another website called apparently interestingthingoftheday.com, it's also argued that above ground burial was common in France and Spain, where many of the early settlers were from, so that's maybe why they adopted that practice and did that in New Orleans as opposed to other cities in America. So, who knows, but I think the first one is a better story. Floating bodies make a better story
Yes.
than cultural tradition.
Love a good floating body.
Yep. So, in any case, this is typically, whether it's the first reason or the second reason, that's how people are buried in New Orleans, and the practice is still used to this day. So, after the Carter brothers are found guilty a few years later, they are executed, placed in an above-ground vault. And basically what happens is after your time in your vault is up and you've been reduced to essentially bone dust, because it's like, you know, New Orleans gets to be like 100 and whatever degrees in the summer. When were you there?
We were there in, it was 105 the
But
whole
like
time?
when were we there?
Oh, we were there in September.
Yeah, in September it was still like 105 out, so you can imagine like July, August, it just gets so hot and humid.
Yeah.
It was insanely
When I was
hot.
on the swamp boat, it was
Yeah.
120 degrees outside, and we were with 100% humidity index, and I had to sit on that fucking boat for 2 hours. I remember we were flying down the water, and it just felt like a blow dryer was hitting me.
Oh, that's there. You don't even find relief from like wind.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're not used to humidity out here anymore, so ugh.
Yep.
Em's just making excuses for their hair in that photo. I know it.
I am.
I know it.
I am.
So basically what happens is you're put in these above ground vaults, and then over time you're essentially reduced to like dust. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
Yep.
They call it bone dust.
Bone dust to bone dust.
They clear you out and basically make room for additional family members. So they have these little pushy things, and they literally just, there's a pile of your ashes, like in a cartoon, push them to the back, and then put the new body in. Mm-hmm. And they wait a year and a day, because it's apparently traditionally bad luck to put somebody in the coffin like before then. So sometimes they have waiting cell, like
Well,
waiting
also they
graves.
make you wait a year and a day because they want to confirm that the body has sat through an entire New Orleans summer to make sure that it has disintegrated or fallen apart enough that they can shove it to the back and it'll fall down the vent easier.
Because if you open it up and it's not disintegrated, that sucks.
Yeah.
Close it back up. And also, they don't like to do it on the day of... Oh, shit. Sorry. They don't like to do it on the day of your death anniversary because they believe that's bad luck, too, that you should have your own
Anniversary.
death day. And then, so they should wait at least one more day to bury you. So, anyway, that's at least what I learned. So they would push your ashes to the back, then load the body in. Another cool thing that I remember learning that's not in these notes, but apparently what they used to do is they used to just shove the ashes to the back and then put the new body in, and like all the ashes of the family over the generations would just kind of pile up in the back. Apparently nowadays, I don't know how many decades ago, but they started collecting parts of the ashes to use for DNA evidence just in case. Like,
cool.
So instead of just dumping them to the back, they would like actually preserve part of your body before you were shoved to the back. So I thought that
Very
was kind
smart.
of very smart and interesting. Anyway, so that's what's supposed to happen, right? So, many years after the Carters' death, when they opened the vault to make room for their next family member who had passed, they discovered that the Carter... Can you imagine being like the one after the Carter brothers?
It's like, ew,
I don't want to
wanna-
be in there.
Please put me somewhere else.
Please, God. So they opened the vault to make room for the next family member, and they discovered that the Carters' bodies were both gone. There was no decay, there were no bones, no ashes, no bone dust, nothing. They were just completely disappeared, vanished out of their tombs. So, of course, this sparked all sorts of vampire rumors, especially if you think the blood, sucking the blood out of people. Obviously, that's what's going to happen. And to this day, many sightings have occurred in the French Quarter that match the descriptions of the two brothers almost exactly. A couple years after the empty tombs were discovered, the new owner of the apartment claimed to see two figures that matched the Carter brothers' descriptions outside on the balcony whispering to each other. So he was the new owner, and he like kind of looked out on his own balcony and was like, who are those two men? And they were just like chatting to each other. When they realized he had spotted them, they jumped off the third-story balcony, landed without a second beat, and took off running.
Nope.
And it's very high up there. Like, you don't just jump off and start running. Like,
right.
You're gonna hurt yourself. So the legend goes that if a vampire drinks your blood 7 nights in a row, then and only then can you become a vampire.
Okay.
So some of those found in the Carter brothers' apartment had been there for more than 7 days. And the story, unfortunately, does not end there. So the victims, as you can imagine, went on to lead pretty tragic lives. The adult female survivor voluntarily committed herself to a psychiatric hospital for the rest of her life.
Oh my God.
And this is the 1930s, and she went voluntarily to a psychiatric hospital
For life.
for the rest of her life. Never checked herself out where she could have.
Wow. She was like, nope, I'm better off here.
This is better, right. As for the male survivor that had been rescued by police, he went on to become a notorious serial killer. He went on to murder, and I've seen different estimates, 32, 42, or 442 people.
Holy shit.
It was a lot. Whether it was 32 or 442, which I believe is probably an exaggeration, but 32...
It's somewhere in the range of more or less 100 people.
Massively, yes,
400 people?
yes,
Wow.
if we're doing the average. So he became a serial killer. He would murder people and then dissolve their bodies in sulfuric acid. And they didn't actually realize how many people he had murdered until they looked through his diary, where they tracked his victims. I wrote, seems like they still don't know, because I said they don't.
Right.
I'm like 32, 42, or 4. That's still
like,
seemingly unclear.
Right.
But not only did one of the Carter brothers' only surviving victims become a serial killer himself, he also was known to drink the blood of his victims. And that is the story of the Carter brothers, the New Orleans vampires.
That's the whole story?
Yeah, I have another one, though. A mini one.
Oh, I was like, what? I was like, I'm hooked, man.
That was the whole story.
All right.
One of their victims started drinking blood of other people. Ugh.
So, if you were to believe in vampiric folklore, he became a vampire.
Right. You couldn't help it. Okay. So I have one bonus story that I added for the show because the first one was kind of short. This is the legend of the Casket Girls, also very creepy and very Halloween-y.
Love it.
And my sources here were GoNola.com, WGNO, Ghost City Tours, and the Pensacola News Journal, and Bobby.
And Bobby.
So...
Shout out to Bobby.
Shout out. Have a drink for Bobby. So the French first settled in New Orleans in the early 1700s. They were, get this, men.
What?
They were men.
Okay.
All the settlers were men.
Yeah.
So
I'm so shocked.
I know. You're supposed to be really surprised by that fact.
Oh no, I thought they were all women.
I know. It's hard to believe, right?
Okay.
So anyway,
Were they all white too?
No.
Maybe.
They were all French. Sorry. Okay. So they were all men. So a problem arose. How would they be able to continue spreading the good Christian word if they couldn't procreate?
I mean, amen.
Amen. That's what I always say. So they sought help from the homeland. There was already a custom of shipping young women to colonists for the purpose of being wives. But traditionally, these women were sex workers or women from, quote, poor houses or jails. And they would just kind of gather them up and, like, ship them.
Why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you? This time, though, France was like, you know what? We really, like, want to commit to this New Orleans thing. We want to make this, like, a very pure, virtuous place. And so France decided to send, quote, virtuous women as a sign of respect for the colonists in Louisiana. So the government handpicked a group of women from convents and orphanages, whom they guaranteed were virgins. Interesting.
How do you guarantee that?
I do not want to know the answer to that question. And they, so they were guaranteed to be virgins and were thus considered to be women of marrying stock.
Disgusting.
Yes. These young women were to be shipped to New Orleans, where they would live in the local convent and be groomed by the nuns and then placed into arranged marriages.
Sounds right.
These women were only allowed to bring one box with all their belongings, typically including their clothes, linens, and sometimes a bridal gown. In French, this box was called a cassette, which ultimately morphed into casquette. And maybe we can see where this is going.
Casket.
Essentially, a boat full of women arrived on shore, and the women were escorted into the local convent carrying what looked like, to the locals, coffins. Many of the girls had fallen ill on the voyage, were very pale and gaunt, or even infected with tuberculosis, which leads you to cough up blood. And you're carrying what you call a casket.
Mm-hmm.
That looks kind of like a coffin. You can see why people started some rumors.
Uh-huh.
According to legend, the young women's cassettes were stored in the attic until they were married off, but the sisters of the convent were horrified when the girls later opened their caskets and they were found empty.
Uh-oh.
Fearing that the women had more sinister intentions than originally believed, the nuns contacted the archdiocese, bolted the doors, nailed the windows shut with nails blessed by the Pope himself, and decided then and there that nothing would ever get in or out of the third floor of that convent.
Wow.
So legend has it vampires were smuggled in the caskets, and that's why the caskets were empty now, that they had smuggled vampires in, and now they were trying to lock them in that third floor. They remain sealed in the attic the caskets remain sealed into the attic to this day, and that explains why the attic shutters remain closed permanently. Occasionally, late at night, someone will see them suddenly fly open in spite of the blessed nails, and that supposedly means a vampire has made his escape into the real world.
Oh, yikes.
While it is odd that the building has shutters, while most other buildings in the French Quarter don't, according to an employee of the Convent Museum, the shutters are fully functional hurricane shutters that were not installed until a century after the Casket Girls' arrival. So that's kind of an explanation given by the convent itself, which is now a museum.
Got it.
And in fact, there is no basis whatsoever that the Casket Girls actually had a connection to vampirism. But the story doesn't end there, so legend has it that in 1978, two tourist/amateur paranormal investigators, unlike you, Zach, I'm not making any claims.
Speaking of Zach, I just realized I never even showed anyone my rippling abs that come with this suit.
Is that what that is?
It is what they are. So
I see. Wow, rippling. Oh dear God. Oh my God, that is creepy.
yeah,
Gross.
yeah.
Gross.
Sorry, I was touching my stomach. I was like, what is this? I was like, why can't I feel my own stomach? And then you mentioned Zach, and I was like, this is my moment.
Oh, right. This is me.
I'm absolutely sure that these are
This is the
mine.
the new me. Okay, so two tourists, amateur paranormal investigators, much unlike Zach, who is a very professional, exceptionally professional paranormal investigator.
Mm-hmm, that's correct on what I am.
So the amateur paranormal investigators decided to go get answers for themselves, and they camped out in front of the convent for the night with their camera equipment. The next morning, the two investigators were found laying in front of the building. Their bodies had been torn open and ravaged, and they had been drained of 80% of their blood.
No.
No.
So
I will say I could not find any credible articles from the time that backed up the story. It was the 70s, but there are newspapers from the time archived online, so it was a little weird that I wouldn't be able to find any news articles to back this up, but to this day, the story persists as a warning that vampires walk among us. A local tour guide was asked by local news station WGNO whether vampires still live in New Orleans, and he told the reporter, quote, "I think there are things out there that we don't understand. It's highly likely, it seems to me, that if there is a creature, a predator in our world that preys on humans, it would be in its own best interest to do everything it can to make humans believe that it's just a product of fiction." And those are the stories of the Carter brothers and the New Orleans Casket Girls.
Yay!
Spooky ooky!
Very, 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 very cool.
Almost as scary as M's rippling abs.
Yes, almost as scary. Scary how you're scared at how interested you are in them.
Listen, I'm Tina right now. I'm interested. I'm fully on board. I'm not gonna
Someone's
lie.
gonna write some weird, actual erotic friend fiction about
Friend
us.
fiction. Oh
It's
no.
gonna be very odd.
Somebody was like saying how they had somebody wrote something weird about having a sex dream about you on Twitter. I don't want to talk about it. But
It is what happened.
then I wrote what the fuck or something. I wrote like what the, and then this other person wrote like like don't worry, Christine, I'll write one about you and Blaze. And I was like, that is not what's that's not what
That's not what we meant.
But then they wrote, I'll call it Blina. And I laughed for like probably 10 minutes because like Blaze and Christina, they're like, I'll call it Blina.
You guys can have all the weird fan
I
fiction
want
you
none
want.
of it. I want none of it. But
Although I
mean,
do appreciate the sex dreams from others, but I don't need it
you're
written
the one,
down anywhere.
Listen, you retweeted it. That's the only
I
reason
did.
I saw
I like
it.
attention. I'm a Gemini.
Yeah, well, me too, but not necessarily.
I
that
don't care.
Kind, but
I'm the worst of it, and I'm at least shameless about it. I'm like,
yeah,
that's true.
listen, I'm the one who got jealous. So what does that say about me? Let's be real right now. I'm the one who got jealous and is now denying it.
And now poor Blaze is roped into potential fan fiction.
What else is new? Blina. Blech.
Oh, I just scratched off my mustache. Didn't I?
No.
Oh.
It's still mostly there.
Mostly there.
Yeah.
Cool.
Anyway, thank you for that. Sorry that I ended on a weird note. I didn't mean for that to happen.
It's just because I'm cute and rugged and handsome and I have just crazy muscles.
I can't help myself.
No one can.
Let me get my erotic friend fiction notebook.
Just wait. When people see this, it's going to get weird on Twitter.
It's going to get really weird. I will say that. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. But anyway, thank you for listening to our Halloween episode.
Yes, if you would like to follow us, I don't know why, online, you can find our personal Instagrams and Twitters at Xteen Schiefer and the M. Schultz.
I'm
and,
not verified yet, so there's that.
And ATWWD Podcast. You can also find our website, and that's why we drink.com, where you can look up pretty much anything you need to know about us. And you can also email us, and that's why we drink at gmail.com, where you can submit your own personal listener stories, either true crime or paranormal. Please put somewhere in the subject line that it's a listener story. It's just easier to find that way. And we put out a new listeners episode at the first of every month.
Oh, so we got to do that quick, huh?
Yep.
Oops, we have 5 days, 6 days.
And
Oopsies.
I guess that's it.
I guess that's it, guys. Thank you for listening, and happy Halloween. Have a great time.
Yay.
Be safe, please. Keep an eye on your drink at all times, and
Yes.
have a good time.
Bye.
Anyway, bye.